Have you ever watched pro drifters glide effortlessly through corners and think, how do they make it look that easy? So today on Zero Lift Media, we're breaking down the first 5 upgrades every drift car absolutely needs. Ready? Let's slide into it. Before we start, why the right order matters. Everyone wants to add horsepower first. It feels exciting. The numbers go up, the car feels faster, and your ego says, yeah, this is drift ready. But here's the truth. If you don't fix the foundation first, that power will just expose every weakness in your setup. Too much power with stock suspension? You'll spin out before you even start your drift. No limited slip diff? You'll get one tire spinning and the other just laughing at you. Bad seats? You'll slide around inside your car more than your car slides on the track. Drifting is a combination of control, grip, and reliability. So these 5 upgrades are in the order that pro drifters wish they'd done first. Number 5. Bucket seats and harnesses. Secure the driver first. Before you make your car faster, make your body stop moving around like a loose grocery bag in the back seat. When you're learning to drift, you're constantly correcting the steering wheel, counter-steering, clutch kicking, adjusting throttle. It's chaos. If your body isn't locked in place, every movement you make gets delayed or exaggerated. That's why a good fixed back racing seat is essential. It holds your torso firmly, so your arms and legs can focus purely on driving input, not balance. Add a 4 or 5-point harness, and suddenly you're not bracing yourself anymore. You're part of the car. A lot of beginners skip this because they think seats don't add speed. But here's the truth. They add control. Without control, speed doesn't matter. Real-world example. I once met a drifter who spent $2,000 on suspension and power mods, but kept his old, squishy stock seat. Every run, he'd oversteer at the same corner. He thought it was the tires. Nope. It was him sliding sideways in his seat. Moral of the story. Before you upgrade the car, upgrade your connection to it. Number 4. The differential. LSD, or welded diff. You can't drift if only one wheel is doing all the work. Most stock cars have open differentials, which let your inside and outside tires spin at different speeds for daily driving comfort. Great for grocery runs, terrible for drifting. To hold a drift, you need both rear wheels spinning together. That's where the limited slip differential, LSD, or welded diff, comes in. A 2-way LSD locks the wheels under acceleration and deceleration, giving you consistent control mid-drift and on transitions. If you're on a tight budget, a welded diff, literally welding your stock diff gears together, does the same job, though it makes parking and slow turns jerky. So, why is this upgrade early in the list? Because it transforms how your car behaves in corners. Without it, every drift becomes unpredictable. Sometimes it'll hold, sometimes it'll just grip up mid-slide and send you spinning. Drift pros like Chris Forsberg and Adam LZ always mention, a proper diff is where drifting really begins. So, if you can only afford one big mod early on, make it this one. Number 3. Suspension and steering angle kits. Here's the brutal truth. Stock suspension is your worst enemy on the track. It was built for comfort, not for control. When you're drifting, you need predictability. You want your car to respond instantly, not a second later. That's where coilovers come in. Coilovers let you tune your ride height, stiffness, and damping, so you can dial in how your car behaves mid-slide. Pair them with solid bushings and adjustable control arms, and you eliminate that sloppy, floating feeling that kills your confidence. Now let's talk steering angle kits, the secret weapon of every drifter. Ever see those insane sideways drifts where the front wheels are turned almost 90 degrees? That's not stock, that's an angle kit. More steering angle means more control when your car is sideways. You can catch deeper slides, hold longer drifts, and transition smoother. In short, suspension equals predictability. Angle equals forgiveness. Together, they make drifting easier, not harder. Number 2, cooling and reliability upgrades. You can't drift if your engine's boiling like a kettle after every lap. Drifting isn't gentle. It's high revs, clutch kicks, tire smoke, and tons of heat. That's why the next upgrade is cooling and reliability. Start with a high-flow aluminum radiator. Stock ones are made for normal driving, not repeated redline abuse. Add dual electric fans with a shroud. This keeps air moving even when you're not at high speeds. And don't forget oil and transmission cooling. Heat is the #1 killer of engines and gearboxes in drift cars. A simple oil cooler can add years to your engine's life. Also, consider upgraded hoses, clamps, and fluids. Rubber hoses expand under heat and pressure. Silicone replacements last longer and handle more abuse. This step doesn't make your car faster, but it makes sure it survives long enough to improve your drifting. Think of it like this. Would you go into a marathon without water? Then don't drift without proper cooling. Number 1. Tires and grip setup. Every drift, every corner, every save. It all happens where rubber meets the road. Tires aren't just round pieces of rubber. They're your car's lifeline. Here's the trick. You want grip in the front and slip in the rear. Your front tires should be quality. That's what gives you steering precision and control. The rear tires, you can go cheaper but keep them consistent. Pressure is everything. A lot of drifters run slightly higher PSI in the rear for easier slides and lower PSI in the front for more bite. Experiment. The right setup depends on your car's weight and power. And here's the thing, don't ignore alignment. Even if you have the best tires, a bad alignment ruins it all. Dial in more front caster and a bit of negative camber to help transitions. Tires decide whether your drift is smooth and clean, or a smoky spin-out disaster. The Budget Drift Day. I once knew a guy named Rafiq. First drift day ever. He spent weeks prepping his car. New angle kit, coilovers, welded diff. He was ready to be Tokyo Drift's lost cousin. But guess what he forgot? Spare tires. He did 2 drifts, burned through his rears, and had to drive home on tires that looked like donuts. Halfway there, it started raining. Let's just say, he learned 2 lessons. Always bring spares. Rain and bald tires are not friends. So if you're watching this thinking, hey, I'll just use whatever tires I have. Don't. Tires are your best teacher. How to build smart. The ideal order. Let's recap the smart way to build your first drift car, especially if you're on a budget. Start with seat and harness. Control yourself before controlling the car. Differential. Get both wheels spinning together. Tires and wheels. Grip up front, controlled slip in back. Suspension and angle. Make your drift stable and catchable. Cooling upgrades. Keep your engine alive for the long run. This order ensures you're always improving what matters most. Control, consistency, and reliability. Chasing horsepower early might feel fun, but drifting isn't about power. It's about balance. A well-balanced 180 horsepower drift car will beat a 400 horsepower chaos machine any day of the week. Bonus tips mechanics wish you knew. Even the best mods won't save you from bad habits. Always check your fluids, torque settings, and tire pressures before every event. Drifting shakes everything loose, literally. Also, keep spare bolts, zip ties, and duct tape. A small fix trackside can save your whole day. And finally, practice slow. Master low-speed control before trying to link corners. Drifting isn't about who goes fastest. It's about who stays in control the longest. If you're serious about getting into drifting, don't chase horsepower. Start with these 5 upgrades, build smart, and you'll have a car that slides predictably, feels alive, and keeps coming back for more. If this guide helped you, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to Zero Lift Media, and tap the bell icon so you don't miss our next build video. Drop a comment below telling us what your first drift car is. Maybe it's a 350Z, an E36, or something wild like a Lexus IS 300. I might feature your setup in the next video. Until then, keep it sideways, keep it safe, and remember, you don't need more power, you just need more control. This is Zero Lift Media, signing off.